I got a two-part question for you. How do you feel about Puffy, and do you feel like he should be investigated for Tupac murder?
Yeah, so to answer to your first question, how I feel about Puffy, I'm gonna be very honest about my response. As I have a lot of respect for what Puffy accomplished in his career. It's very difficult for a black man in America to accomplish the heights of success that he has accomplished. So I respect that. In a way, I respect his accomplishment, his climb up the ladder for what he was able to achieve. You know what I mean? You got to look at that and you got to say to yourself, wow, that's admirable to come from nothing and be able to achieve what you achieved as a black man in this country. I know how hard that is, so I respect that. Now, to answer your question about that, first of all, I feel like there is truth to everything that everyone is saying around Puff. I feel it's not a lie. I feel that there's some truth to it because remember, I was around Pac during that time. You know what I'm saying? And I seen how things was transpiring. So I believe that there's some truth to it. That yes, in fact, Puffy was intimidated by Pac. He felt like Pac was someone he was threatened by. Because look, dude, if you know Pac, if you someone like a Puff, you would be threatened by him because every time you see Pac, he got a gun, like he got 2 or 3 guns, and he's like blatant. Pac is a dope dude. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bully or nothing like that. He's a funny guy. He's a nice guy, generous guy, peace-loving guy. But he wasn't having it. He just wasn't having it. So I can see why Puff might have felt threatened by Pac. I can see it. So if it's true that what everyone is saying, Keefe D, everyone coming on these podcasts, the storyline about Puff paying whoever to do whatever, with Pac, if all that is true, like I said, he needs to be held accountable for it. He needs to be held accountable. It has to be accountability from him for his involvement in getting my cousin killed. I try to keep my personality out of it because, like I said, I'm not in that space anymore where I wish harm on someone else. I just don't feel like that anymore. But I do feel that he has to be held accountable if it's true. And I think there's a lot of truth to what has been said so far. I think the problem with what's going on with the Vegas PD, why they're stuck in that part of the investigation, is because they can't, I think it's money, but also it's because they can't find a corroborator with Keefe D's story. If they can find someone close to Puff that can say, yes, everything Keefe D just said is true, then they have a corroborating witness. They have a corroborating witness that can say that this guy he swears that based on what Keefe D said, this is true. If they don't have anybody that can corroborate Keefe D's statements as it applies to Puff, then they really not going to have Puff lawyers. Puff is wealthy. He will have lawyers that is tear that up, those accusations up, because there's no corroborating evidence.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. The only reason why they didn't arrest Puff yet is because they don't have corroboration. Now, on the other hand, this is just a guess, my opinion. In my opinion, I think that Puff is being investigated. I think that they're waiting, or they may be waiting for an opportunity for him to incriminate himself, just like Keefe D did. Probably on the phone though, like on a wiretap.
No, they arrested Puff. He went to jail right after Keefe D, early in the morning, but they said it was for a traffic ticket.
Oh.
But he went to jail. He got taken in down in Miami.
Did you go to jail for a traffic ticket?
No, but they said it was for a traffic ticket. But he did go to jail, get turned in, and he does. I mean, when you put $2 million on a person's head, you really That dude's too powerful. You can't fight with money like that. How you gonna? Pac couldn't beat that. $2 million on his head. What the hell could he have done to anybody to make him put $2 million on your head?
But that's a good point, though. I do believe that when you say that they probably got him wired, or they probably looking at his checks and stuff to see if he slip up and say something. That'll make sense too.
The reason why I think that is because there's too much chatter. There's too much chatter going on. You know, you got this guy, Keefe D, who made a deal with the LAPD to tell what happened so that he don't have to do time for a drug case that he was facing life for, right? And he was very, very forthcoming with the information, right? And even though he implicated all the people that was in the car with him and Puffy, the people that was in the car with him are dead. They're dead anyway. So there's nothing that can happen to them. But Puff is the only person living that has something to do with that. You got to think why he's not being arrested or even at least questioned, and that's why. He's rich, he got a lot of money.
He's a gangster.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a gangster. But if they had a corroborating witness that can say, yeah, you know, Puff said this to me. He said this, and I swear on a stack of Bibles, he said it. That will be a different scenario.